Well, now, South Sudan's President Salva Kiir has frequently highlighted corruption as being one of the biggest impediments to the new nation's development. Surveys indicate the general public also sees corruption as a major issue, but that they remain concerned that little is being done to end the problem. In a recent interview with Mr. Pagan Amum, the Secretary General of South Sudan's ruling party, SPLM, he defended his government against those charges.
First of all, these reports are exaggerated. Secondly, yes, there are reported cases of corruption because the system that we are building a state from nothing. There has been no state institutions in South Sudan because of the policies pursued in Khartoum.
And some people say actually this should have been an advantage because you're building from nothing and you have the benefit of the bad examples of others, but also of the experience of countries that have done so well. So having a clean slate, you had the opportunity to actually create a model country in Africa, if not in the world. Why have you missed the opportunity so that South Sudan is starting to look like a typical African nation, rife with corruption and tribalism?
No. With the problem of building a new state without institutions that were there, you then start with building institutions that are weak because they are incipients, institutions that have limited capacity to manage, say, public resources. Institutions like auditing institutions, like the auditor chambers, anti-corruption commission, even the parliament, these are institutions that are emerging having limited capabilities. Because of this, there's a lot of discretion, which is also abused. And now when you pursue to fight corruption, you are also having problems of limited capacity to investigate, for example, and limited capacity of the legal system, court system. Because of all this, you develop a situation where the new state basically is like a child having infantile disorder. We are not losing confidence.
But the good thing
and
is
trust in the capacity of this state.
Yeah, but you didn't get suddenly born in July of last year. You had the benefit of having this self-rule, semi-autonomous system for 6 years. And someone would have thought that was a wonderful period to get a feeling of being, you know, your own masters or the masters of your destiny. Was something lost in that time? Some lesson?
Look at Sudan that we have joined. It is the most corrupt state in Africa, according to Transparency International. This is the state we have joined. It is a state that is sick.
Yeah, but some people say you kind of, you're always defaulting to Sudan, blame Sudan.
Which was our country.
Yes.
And it is, as a state, is the most corrupt. We have joined it, it is sick. And with that sickness, you definitely have a problem of getting not only contaminated with it, but when you develop weak institutions, because they have to start that way, that is nature of things. In a sick and highly corrupt state, you develop this problem. And the SPLM government, if you can look into what the government has done in terms of fighting corruptions, including throwing out Minister of Finance and many others, reshuffling them out of the government and taking them through the legal system and through courts.
Yeah. There have been some complaints by citizens who say, this is a new nation, we don't have as many resources yet, but you see the spending, for example, in government ministries is obscene. And citizens are watching this. Meanwhile, they're lacking very basic necessities. And they're saying, should our priority be this heavy spending at this stage when we have a young nation to build, when we have a whole region that is so underdeveloped? What is your take on that?
We have to start by building the state and the state institutions. South Sudan started not even having a single office, a single office for any of the, not even the president having an office. You had to build all this, and you have to provide them with capacity. And South Sudan started with a situation where there are no roads, not a single kilometer of asphalt road. So you have to buy 4x4 because that is the only you can have. And that is a reality. But let us look into what the government of South Sudan has done. Definitely, if you look at the performance of government of South Sudan, the expectations of our people is very high. And the needs of our people are immense because we have been underdeveloped.
Our thanks to Mr. Pagan Amum, the Secretary General of South Sudan's ruling party, SPLM.